Welcome. My name is Aladin. Thank you for joining me on my show, my fourth show, I think. I could be the fifth one. So it's one of the things I'm losing control. I'm kind of losing the amount of shows I'm doing, but I'm enjoying every moment. Thank you for joining me on the show. I have amazing guests today. All the guests I had in the previously, I've got another special guest who will be sharing his knowledge and experience about singing bowls. A little bit of background about this guest. He was previously an engineer for many, many years, and he was actually in quite a few bands. And from there, he developed an interest in singing bowls through his sister, who actually had a holistic company, and through that, he found out more about the singing bowls and kind of developed a more interest and started helping people through using the singing bowls. And he has actually helped so many people. I mean, a majority of people don't really know what singing bowls is. So this is the reason I actually brought this guest on to talk about what is sound vibration, what is the singing bowls, and how it can help people. And I'd like to introduce this guest, and this guest's name is Peter. Hi. Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much. Lovely to be here.
I'm glad. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for your time coming to the show. I know I said briefly about that you being an engineer and then a drummer in a couple of bands, and then from there you've come. It's a different step from being an engineer to doing something totally different, like a singing bowls.
Yeah, it's at either end of the spectrum, really.
Yeah.
But the engineering has given me a good foundation to look at the physical side of the singing bowls as well as the energetic side of the singing bowls.
Wow. I'm sure a lot of viewers don't really know what singing bowl is. I came across, I personally don't know much about it, and it would be good to kind of know what is singing bowl. Give me a wee bit of background about when it was kind of
the singing bowls were developed thousands of years ago by the Tibetan Buddhist monks. It's been said in their scriptures, or they don't really write a lot, but they've handed it down verbally. So according to them, it was gifted to them by the gods, the 7 sacred metals, and they formed a metallic disc, and the Buddhist monks beat that disc into the shape of a bowl. And during that process, their energy was going into the bowl, and that's what created the singing bowl.
I know metal, as far as I am aware, that like gold and silver and some metals are very valuable, and I do believe that they've got huge vibration, and using metal, because as I mentioned, it is a vibration, that sound that is coming, and we as physical beings are made of vibration.
Yes.
Yeah.
When I teach in my classes and courses, I put across the suggestion that everything in the universe is vibration, and that's what makes the singing bowls particularly effective with the human body. Because we are also, there's a vast majority of us is water, and water is a fantastic conduit for vibration as well. So that's how the singing bowls also enhance the human body.
Oh, wow, that's great. I know that we've got, I've actually bought some singing bowls that will actually you'll demonstrate how it sounds later on about the singing bowls. So as I said, Buddhist. It actually started from the Buddhist.
Yes, the Bonpo Buddhism is the oldest, as far as I'm aware. It's the oldest style of Buddhism, and it's more on shamanic grounds, and that's where the bowls came from. Because Tibet was kind of insulated. It's a high mountain region. It wasn't easily accessible. The bowls were kept a secret for a very, very long time. And obviously, with recent history, when the Dalai Lama had to leave, he left and his followers went with him. And the bowls is part of their belief system, it's part of their life. Then went also from Tibet, firstly to Nepal, and then up to northern India. And quirkiness of it is that the tourists began to notice the singing bowls, and very slowly some were sold. And it's gradually, I mean, 15 years of me working with the singing bowls, it's become more expansive. There are there's still a lot of people that don't know about singing bowls, but they're beginning to travel around the globe and become more easily accessible.
I actually came across the singing bowls about a few years ago, and I didn't know what it was, and I can't remember who demonstrated it and the name of the person, but she's kind of just took the singing bowls and just went up and down my body at the back, and it was, I felt about, not just a vibration, but it's a sensation of that went up and down, but you could actually feel really relaxed, you know, just listening to the sound, and it's like you go in a kind of meditative state.
That's what they were originally developed for, to enhance the meditative state. But what's come about from that is the effect on the human body, the effect on your energy body, and also on your mental state in the relaxation of it. So it calms you down very quickly. It settles the whole of your body, therefore that becomes holistic. You're treating the whole of the body, as you know. And the effects are very many and very varied. The reason that some people will feel them in their body, the 7 sacred metals are aligned to your 7 major chakras. This is where it can get a little bit complex, but in actual fact it's very easy once you see the path, because it's all interrelated. They're all relative to each other. The sound of the metals, the 7 sacred metals were assigned, they were considered sacred because of the 7 known planets at the time. So each one has a metal attributed to it. That is also, each planet also has a vibration, a note attributed to it. I can't remember how they work that out. It's something to do with the rotation around the sun multiplied and divided by something. Gives it a frequency. That frequency is also related to the colour spectrum. So you can work with colours, integrate that with the singing bowls. The colours are the same colours, or the major colours, as your chakras will vibrate at. And that also transposes itself into working with crystals, different types of crystals, from quartz to amethyst to rubies, anything like that. So energetically, it's all in absolute harmony.
Wow, because majority of us are, you can listen to normal music out there, you know, and and that's vibration. That music itself is. I know we're talking about singing bowls, and that gives a vibration. But majority of us, maybe viewers, listen to music, and even the music that we hear either makes us feel happy, or, you know, kind of changes our mood.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And it's affecting our energy points as well.
It can either stimulate or calm it down.
Calm it down.
Yeah, make it, I don't know the word, relax.
So it's just to make the viewers understand that, I mean, they might think, oh, my singing bowls, oh, that's strange, or never heard of it. But if they look at what they hear daily in the media, they've got iPads, whatever, and they listen to music, it's the same kind of vibration.
The principle is the principle is exactly the same. If you're feeling a bit down, or you've got the blues, so you'll play the blues, and that might cheer you up.
Yes.
You might want to listen to classical music, a different style, a different type, depending on the mood that you're in, and that will lift you or it will subdue you. So it's very relevant. absolutely.
Yeah. For me, I know that, I mean, I love music, not heavy metal or anything like that, but I do like relaxed, calm music. I do meditate on using that, but I like dance music. But it does feel uplifting. You feel really, really happy because it's affecting your energy points, your chakras, as you said, you've got the 7 chakras there. And it's I mean, if you know that, then I would understand singing bowls. What it does is more and more powerful.
Yeah.
Because you are kind of, it's like we go to a doctor and we got an issue, maybe health issue, and the doctor writes a prescription. Whereas if people come to you and you kind of know, you maybe know what to
sense
you,
it.
sense it.
My experience has shown me that I'm guided. I work with entities, which is a completely different volume of everything to do with sound. But I've been told and I've sensed that I'm guided by spirit about what I can do, and I've been given a row now and again for picking the wrong bowl. Also, my friends have said, who are mediums, they've said, Peter, you can do this. You have the capacity to do it. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing readings. I can read the chakras with the singing bowls, because as I'm playing, I'm being given messages. And so far, it's been pretty good, actually.
No, I would recommend to anybody to try the singing bowls. I think it's amazing. The relaxation you feel, the sensations throughout your body, it's amazing. As I said, I've experienced it, and I know a lot of people out there have experienced it as well. And tell me about the people you've worked with and what the feedback you got. And, maybe people are saying if people got maybe sun conditions and what.
Yes, I've worked with a lady who had jet lag. She'd had a holiday and she couldn't sleep. 3 weeks she went without being able to sleep properly. So I did a sound bath session with her. She was the only woman that turned up, so she's got the session all to herself. And she emailed me 2 days later. That's the best sleep she'd ever had in her life. Wow. So it just my point of view, or the way I explain that, is it resets your body clock. So it can do that through the relaxation. There was another instance where a woman had a sore shoulder. She had a muscle in her shoulder. She'd suffered that for 6 years and couldn't lie on that side of her body. And what I did was I took a small bowl and I placed it on her shoulder and I made it sing. And it's intuition, of course. So I said, right, that's enough, I'll stop. That night she went home and she could sleep comfortably on that side of her body. That's amazing. So that is amazing. Yeah, that's happened with that. And there's, my cat was not well, and Leela, she's called. She's a Bengal. She's a brown Bengal, and I put her in a singing bowl. I've got a large singing bowl that's about 6 kilos, so she was having difficulty breathing. So I put her in the singing bowl, and Caroline was doing other energy work with her, and I just got the bowl singing with her in it. About 2 or 3 minutes, she convulsed, and this clear fluid, she spat and sneezed it out, and then she was okay after that. She just got up and went away. So what about people who are like suffering from stress? It's a fantastic thing for stress, because it changes your mind, the state of your mind. I had a woman that came to a sound bath, and she was into like theta healing, different brainwave states, alpha state, theta state, etc. And she said that while I was playing the bowls, her mind went through every level of the theta brainwave patterning and relaxed her instantly. So that was, I mean, I don't know about theta healing. I just know about the energy healing, but it's fantastic to get that kind of feedback. Feedback can also, and I learned this earlier on, can be a bit of an issue from the point of view that when you experience something new, you may not be able to find the words to describe it. So initially my pull for feedback was quite slow and a bit frustrating. So a friend of mine said, look Peter, calm down, this is what's possibly happening. And I went, okay, I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's, as I said, is something people experience new they can't explain in words, or if they have a sudden feeling that goes through. Because when I was even doing sessions with a lot of clients in the past, when I had my healing academy, and clients were experiencing different feelings, and they would say, oh, they're fine, and they go away, and then they would, like 2 days later, they would email me saying, wow, they maybe could explain it then, they went through the process, and they said, this is what happened, it's amazing, I'm feeling great, etc. So anything new is, it takes time.
Oh, absolutely. When I've worked with people, whether it's a group session like the sound bath or a one-to-one session, a therapy session, I always say that just be aware of changes in your body.
Yeah.
It may happen in 2 minutes, it may happen in 2 weeks. So just keep your awareness open and just take note. If necessary, write it down. It's not a problem. If you've got the capacity, just take a mental note, and you will slowly begin to feel and receive the changes in your body from the singing bowls and the energies.
Now, you mentioned sound baths and therapy. Now, the difference, I want to know can you explain that?
I had developed the sound bath as like an entry level, because a lot of people didn't know about singing bowls, so I suggested, well, why not come along and experience it? So the sound bath is a group session where I come along and I'll play maybe 20 to 30 singing bowls. Intuitively is the word, but randomly is also. I'm also guided as well. So I will play these singing bowls for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I'm always aware of the clients that are there. Some people have a shorter attention span or relaxation span than others, so I very carefully watch what I'm doing. And they get the full experience of the singing bowls. Now, they may have they may experience colours, floods of colours, visualizations. They may just feel their bodies tingling or sensations in their bodies. They may just go to sleep, because that's what the energy suggests. You're tired, sleep, rest. And on a physical level, sleep is when the body naturally regenerates and heals itself anyhow. So that's the sound bath scenario. The one-to-one healing sessions, we call it resonance therapy, far more in depth. I'll spend maybe an hour and a half with somebody. If I'm drawn to place a bowl upon a body, if there's an energy that's particularly stuck, I'll place a bowl on the body, and that will help to release that energy. The therapy session starts with a little bit of consultation. I don't have to know really anything about the person, because I pick it all up. Then I will scan the body, and I take a bowl, and I can do it whether you're seated or lying down. It's better if you're lying down, and I'll run a bowl down the length of the body and back up, and I will sense where the body's out of alignment or not in harmony. That then gives me a starting point. It's like a diagnostic tool. It gives me a starting point to work on the energies of the body, and then I'll just continue.
You must be really tuned, because to listen to the sound, because I tried it once, and I'm like, what's the difference? Your hearing must be really...
It's not, yes, the hearing, I'm a bit deaf after all my loud concerts and being a drummer. But you're holding, I prefer to hold the bowl as much as possible. So you're sensing the vibrations physically.
Oh, physically, right, okay.
And when I teach, when you start with the singing bowls, I say that it gives your mind 3 points of focus to be able to meditate. One is the sound. The sound is calming and it's very relaxing. So that gives you focus point 1. 2, the vibration, because you're holding the bowl in your hand, so the body's getting the vibration. That's calming the body down as well and giving you focus. 3 is simplistic movement. You're going round, very carefully round. And subconsciously, your mind is working on keeping the pace steady so that the tone of the bowl is even. And that just accentuates the whole meditative experience. So you don't have to worry about itches and distractions. And no matter how deep you are in a meditative state, you're always present and aware. So if something happens, then you're instantly able to deal with it. One thing that happened, my first sound bath up in Aberdeen, I had 12 clients there and it was beautiful. They were just lovely and relaxed. Halfway through, down the high street, went a fire engine and an ambulance. Full tilt, sirens, lights, everything. And I thought, no, this is not good. One woman opened her eyes gently, just to check her surroundings, and then went back into the meditative state. Everybody was aware, but they knew they were okay in a safe place, and they just continued with the meditation, which was a bit of an uphill learning for me.
Peter, you've bought some singing bowls. Would be good to give us a demonstration, and people, maybe the viewers could maybe listen to the kind of vibration of the sound.
This is my one.
Is that?
Yeah, I have my own ones. I've got 8 of them. But this is Nepalese, and
so you just hold it on your.
Just hold it. When I'm teaching, somebody new, I would say hold it on the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
But as long as you're comfortable and relaxed, I tend to hold it on my fingertips, and the trick is to keep it steady. There you go. And when I was learning about this, that's all I did. And I was in a hall in Edinburgh, and I thought, I'm going to see what this is all about. So I just picked a bowl up and played it. And I knew I was present, I was there, I could hear everybody moving around the hall. But when I started playing the bowl, I was away. I was in my own little world, up in the mountains, as it were. So that taught me that I could still be present, because if anybody wanted to get my attention, they could have said, excuse me, and I would have been there instantly. My first concern is that how do I keep the bowl singing when I'm in an altered state of consciousness? And yeah, the stick will fly off and make a clatter, but you learn, and you learn yourself how to get comfortable with it and relax. Then your subconscious just drifts.
Wow.
And there you go.
Can I try it?
Absolutely. There you go.
There you go. Oh, well. So I just put that aside like that?
Yeah. That's it. Now, when you get that little rattle off it, slow down. Just to start with, what I've found is that if you have a bowl, it's really practice. Keep practicing. And you will become, it sounds a bit corny, but you will become one with the bowl. Your energy is interacting with the bowl, and the energy of the bowl is interacting with you. So you find your own pace.
I do feel like a vibration just underneath. I can feel going through my hand up to the bowl, and then I'm feeling the bowl's vibration down my... Wow, that's amazing.
Cool.
I love it.
Yeah. I think everybody should have one.
I think everyone should have one at home.
Yeah.
And do that. Woo, round. Amazing.
Yeah.
So you've got smaller ones.
Yes,
yeah.
I have. I've got. It's just to show you different styles. This is what we call a Japanese style. That one's hand beaten. This one's machine made.
Yeah.
And it has similar properties in the metal.
Yeah.
But because of the way it's been made, it only has 1 or 2 tones. It'll have the same effect.
When I'm listening to that,
Yeah.
I'm feeling it more in my kind of it's going head this end.
Yeah, the brow chakra.
Brow chakra, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a machine-made one. It has a coating on it, and over time that will eventually wear.
Yeah.
If it becomes chipped, it's not a good thing because it gets terribly sharp,
Yeah.
and it can actually cut you. Another one I have here. This is another hand-beaten one. It's what we call an Om style because it's open. It doesn't, well, it will play, but it can be quite stubborn. It doesn't like the swed side of the stick, but it does like the wooden side of the stick. There we go. It's not as effective to sing. The characteristic of this bowl is better for tapping. A Nepalese friend of mine many years ago told me that the smaller the bowl, the more difficult it is to get to sing, and they tend to be used only for tapping. Like the Japanese, the Shinto, they'll have a shrine in their house, and when they're saying their prayers or calling their ancestors and the deities in, they'll have a small bowl like that, and they just tap it. That's enough to clear the energy and for them to begin to pray with their ancestors.
So you could use that to clear your house or
yes.
your environment. So
I teach that as well.
Yeah.
I've done it actually. Distance work with a friend of mine, and it was quite successful. But that's another story.
Yeah.
But you can do that.
Yeah, it was just this when you mentioned so I know in the past I had somebody come to my house and use I can't remember, it was a sound, it wasn't a thing, it was something else, and just went round, and because energy is getting stuck at the corners and of the house and maybe around the furniture, and stagnation happens. There's a saying that if energy is stuck in your house, generally your life is going to be stuck.
Yes, it's I also have a part of a course that I do where you're introducing the energy of Feng Shui, because you've stuck energies, but in particular places like bathrooms and toilets, because of the water element involved with that can be quite an emotional place. So emotional things can get so cleanse that energetically, I use a ting shaw as well for that. Once upon a time, I opened my big mouth and said, because somebody asked me about ting shaws, and they went, "Oh, you just tap them." I went, "No." I said, "I can do everything that I do with a singing bowl with ting shaw, except hold water, because they're not made to hold water." And
that's it.
That's them.
That's them. Okay. So how do you use them?
Well, you just tap them.
It's just tap them like this. Yeah.
And I mean, they're made of the same metals, the same sacred metals as the hand-beaten bowls. So they will have the same energy. So they're just as effective as a singing bowl. When I did my introduction course, I brought in the ting shaw as well. So I call it an introduction to singing bowls and the ting shaw. Because these are, my opinion is these are vastly overlooked. And it's handy. You can buy cases for them as well. And they're handy just to slip in your pocket or put in your handbag or your purse instead of having something as cumbersome as a large singing bowl. So they're very good for that and effective at feng shui and moving and shifting energies in your bodies as well. Because as soon as I opened my mouth, I had to go and test myself.
Can I try that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can try this. I've never tried this before. Oh. Sounds so. Am I making a strange noise?
That's fine.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
When in the course, what I show you is you can tap them at each chakra point and just see how you feel.
So it's like so basically from the head on.
Yeah.
And then you can move to your throat or something.
Yeah.
And then you move to your heart.
Yeah.
And yeah. I've done that one, but yeah, when you went to the heart, I felt like my heart was. I felt like a sensation of expansion going on here.
Yeah.
Obviously, people who know about chakras and energy will, kind of explain it more, and they kind of could feel the sensation more than somebody who has never tried them.
Yeah, that's something that was pointed out to me very early when I was beginning to teach, is that there are certain people that have a good basic knowledge, other therapists. If you've studied another therapy, it's easier for me to teach because they already have the vocabulary for that genre. And I found it as teaching somebody that knows absolutely nothing about it is good fun for me as well, because it makes me think as well of how I'm putting my lesson across. So it's always a learning curve for me.
I was also thinking when you talk about singing bowls, the metal, I'm sure there's so many, I don't want to say fake ones out there that people make and they say singing bowls. How would you recognise which is the right, kind of made of the right metal and where it's not?
There's an element of trust, because I have to trust that there are 7 different metals in there. I just sense, I feel that a singing bowl is right for me. And when I teach, I would always advise somebody to try, if they can, to touch the singing bowl, the tactile. It's awkward, but try not to buy it through the internet. If you know nothing of them, or are not an energy worker, and you can't ask the question, is this singing bowl a contribution to me? Then it's very awkward. I've had people come to my course and went back online and bought a singing bowl and said, I got it for 20 quid. And I'm thinking, show me. And it's not been what I'd expect, or what I show is a quality singing bowl. That's not to say that it's useless. if that's, I was thinking about this and what I teach and what I do, and I would suggest that I'm more traditional than modern. I believe in using as pure and as pure and energetic as possible. And if what I know and what I teach about the singing bowl suggests a 7-metal bowl, then that's what I'd like to steer my clients or pupils, or whatever you want to call them, students, towards. But that's not to say that the aluminium ones that are coming through are not good. I get asked quite a lot, what's my favourite singing bowl? And obviously I have my own one. That's the one I use nearly all the time. But I don't actually have a favourite. I have singing bowls that have different characters, different characteristics. And that's attributed to the different types of metal that are in it, the person that's made it, because all that energy is involved with the singing bowl. And then when you get the singing bowl, you're interacting with that, and your energy is going into it. So its energy is always a two-way street, as it were. There's coming and going, giving and receiving. So that helps to make the singing bowl yours. And unless it's really awful sounding, it should be okay. You're familiarising yourself with the energy. Like I said, the aluminium ones, my personal sensation about them, or feelings about the aluminium ones, is I would not have one. But that's not to say that's not necessary. If you felt drawn to one that was made with a bit of aluminium or alloy in it, or a different alloy in it, then who am I to say that's not for you? It may well be. So always keep an open mind.
Yeah.
So that's what I try and do.
Yeah, keep an open mind, and then, as you said, this is whatever they're drawn to. I mean, if whoever's going to buy, as you said, actually seeing it physically and touching it,
Yes.
and then sensing it and thinking that's the right.
Yeah, you get a sensation. I mean, I've had
feeling.
somebody. We didn't trick her, but we played with her a little bit. She was determined to buy a singing bowl. She was a stall holder at a show. She works with crystals, and she was adamant that she would have a machine-made singing bowl because she loved the tone. And Hilary was involved with this as well. So we both kind of kidded her on and tried our damnedest to get her to choose a hand-beaten bowl, but she wouldn't have it. So she bought the other one. So yeah, we've had fun and games. Another very interesting thing about the bowls energetically is that sometimes they won't play for me.
Oh.
I've been at a show, Body and Soul was the main one at the time, and when Hilary was there, there'd be a bowl that wouldn't play for me, and I'd hand it to Hilary, and it would play for her, and vice versa. And there were bowls that wouldn't play for her, but they'd play for me. Or they would play on the Saturday and wouldn't play on the Sunday.
So bowls can be moody.
Yes, yes, they can be little bisms. Yeah. My sister said that one's a bism, it's not playing for me. And then, she'd hand it, and I just. And it's fascinating because if you take it back to the original manufacture process, what would happen is when a young person devoted themselves to Buddhism, they would make their own bowl. And they would chant their mantras into it, and that bowl would become their energy, and vice versa. So when they passed on, my belief is that the bowls were then recycled. So they were melted down into the disc, and then that, as we know energetically, everything's wiped clear. The energy's gone, it's changed. And then the next monk or nun would come along and make their bowl and their energy. And that's what I believe is the main contributory thing to the Tibetan singing bowls being you can't get them. They're very, very rare. And if it is a genuine Tibetan one, I'd like to see it.
So Peter, can you tell me what courses are you holding at the present, or are you in the future for people, just for viewers, if they want to come along to your courses?
Yeah, they can. I have a website somewhere, which is my name, peterhalley.co.uk. I do sound baths all over Britain, and in my courses, I teach a one-day course for people that are just interested in learning about singing bowls for themselves and the tingshaw. And it's kind of modular now, because there are so many aspects of the singing bowls, integrating them into crystals. I have a course that you can do that as a one-day module. So phone me and ask, or get in touch with me and just ask. I can integrate that into anything. I also do a 2-day practitioner course, and what I've decided recently is to tailor that to the requirements of the people that sign up for that. I've done one that is singing bowls, tingshaws, as a general tool and also as a therapy. So you get a practitioner's qualification, obviously. They wanted to learn about crystals, so introducing the crystals with the singing bowls and the tingshaw. And recently I've just advertised one. I've got one in September, and it's going to be along with tuning forks. Mm-hmm. So I'll tailor that in with it. So just ask me and get me on Facebook or something like that.
You could go on Facebook, or you've got your website,
I've got my website
as well.
I have a friend of mine who's just done a marketing degree, and she's helping by marketing me. So we'll see what happens with that. That could be fun.
That would be fun, yeah. So as I said, I mean, obviously viewers have maybe got some bit of knowledge about singing bowls, about sound vibration, if nobody's actually heard about this before. It's amazing. I find it's really, really good. As I said, I've had a great experience with it. Yeah. I've seen, even in the short period that I experienced that, I did feel a kind of physical, emotional benefit from it, you know, and especially people out there that have got some kind of issues physically and emotionally can really help.
Absolutely.
I think it's just, you just have to be open to it. Just be open to
receive. That's really what it's about. Mm-hmm. And then you should be able to accept any energy, regardless. It doesn't have to be singing bowls.
Yeah, anything. Yeah. I think
keeping an open mind.
Keeping an open mind, and I would say trying something like this will not harm your body or anything like that.
I have not come across any ill effects, or they call it contraindications. Big word. It means you're not feeling well. None at all. Ever. Yeah. There was an occasion where somebody's felt uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And I would suggest that that's because they have been suppressing things. And from the Peter in therapy mode has discovered that when you suppress something, you push it down.
Yeah. So
it sits in your lower chakras. And I have a crystal singing bowl that is particularly good at moving things from there. So, yeah, it can be a little bit uncomfortable, but if you're willing to go with that and you really desire to heal yourself or have a healing process done, then it's quite easy to accept that and allow the energy to shift it.
I mean, this is the kind of aim of the show, is to get people like yourself coming on and kind of sharing the knowledge of, you know, like the singing bowls and other things, kind of alternative ways that people could go and get help for their physical, emotional well-being.
Yeah, I mean, if people don't know about something, how are they going to gravitate to it? So
that's exactly.
It's fantastic that you're doing this. It's great.
It's something I do believe that, and people should know. And then it's up to people's choices, obviously, what they want to experience it or not. But I think nowadays that we're actually too kind of conditioned to go to believing that we need medication to make ourselves better, and we kind of rely on it, and then obviously there's so much side effects to that.
Yeah, there are. They're putting so many nasty things into medicines these days. But an interesting thing I've learned is that your body is a phenomenal tool. And given the right conditions, whatever they are, it will heal itself.
Oh, well, I truly believe that body is very, very intelligent, you know. And I was saying to somebody today that I say the mind is like the captain of the ship, and you imagine the ship, and that's the captain, and the cells are the wee sailors are manning the ship,
Yeah.
and the captain gives orders to the sailors,
Yeah.
saying like go right, left. But nowadays, what we do is we have negative thoughts and a lot of beliefs that's actually confusing the cells or the sailors in our bodies, and going right, left, and causes us a lot of illnesses. Kind of physical illnesses, and it's very, very important that we remember, our body is very intelligent. Our cells are so intelligent that we need to become aware. That what we're putting in.
This was the principle of the word dis-ease. If your body's in harmony, it has ease. If it's not in harmony, you have dis-ease.
That's what I call dis-ease.
Yeah.
If we look at that, I didn't realize many years ago, disease. And if you take these off, ease, just being comfortable, just allowing your body to relax, and when your body starts healing. So, thank you, Peter, for coming on. We're having much time left.
It's great.
It's lovely talking to you, and lovely to have an experience of the symbols. And I could experience it actually on my hands and feel the vibration.
Cool.
It's amazing. And I hope the viewers actually learn a bit about our singing bowls today. And you could actually contact Peter on your website, and also he's actually on Facebook as well.
Yep. And my friend who's doing the marketing is getting me on all sorts of other things as well.
Well, thank you, Peter, for coming on.
No problem.
I really,
at all,
really
Aladin.
appreciate it. As I said, if you want to contact Peter, you could actually contact him on Facebook, and he's actually got a website as well. Well, thank you, everybody who've been watching my show. I want to thank everybody that every week watches my show and supporting me, encouraging me, and that actually makes me kind of more excited to make more shows. And I hope this is actually helping yourselves, watching this and maybe gaining some kind of knowledge and inspiration and putting this into your own life. That's the reason for doing this show every week, is to uplift you, and if you could want to share that with other people, would be amazing. Share this video with others, family members that might benefit from this as well. We've got amazing more guests coming on the next few weeks. We've got a Chinese doctor who will be talking about acupuncture and herbs as well, and the week after that we've got a mindfulness lady coming on as well. So there are more interesting guests coming on, sharing their knowledge and experience with the viewers out there. So I want to thank you for the guys in graphics media for setting things up and every week and supporting me. And I also want to thank Samina Bashir doing my makeup and my hair, my natural makeup and my hair. Thank you, Samina, for that, And I also thank you for the viewers, and finally thank you for the guests like Peter coming on as well. So I hope you could join me next week and come on and share this video with other people, your friends and family members. And I hope so thank you for coming on. I hope to see you next week. Have a magical day.